Hey crafters, and welcome to Tulip's DIY Treasures. I'm your host Corinne, and today we are going to learn how to use images that we find in Google to create our own custom images and projects in the Cricut Design Space. The first thing we want to do is start out in our Cricut Design Space. Up in the top right hand corner, where you have your projects, your Cricut machine, and we are going to select New Project. This will take us to our blank canvas. Now from here, this is where once we have our image and we upload it into the design space, where we can make those changes as far as size, material, colors, things like that, add any fonts or anything to our design. So once we have our canvas open, we want to go ahead and open up our web browser. I use Google Chrome and I use Google as my search engine. You can feel free to use whatever your preferred internet browser or search engine is. Typically when I'm searching for images, you obviously want to be careful about selecting licensed material and things with copyrights on them. So most of the time when I'm searching for images for my projects, I'll look for clip art for free or coloring pages for free that are royalty free. So for this project, since we're, getting into February, I'm going to go ahead and look for some Valentine's options. So in my Google search engine, I am going to search for Valentine's clip art. Once you've searched for your option, I always filter out for just the images so that it's not taking me to a bunch of different websites with clip art. I just want the clip art images here. Once your results have come up, you can now go ahead and find the project that you would like to work on. So here we have heart with multiple hearts in it. We've got this cute little penguin with the hearts. I'm going to go ahead and go with this one. I'm going to go ahead and click on this image. Once I click on it, you can either go to the website to visit it and download. Most of the time, I just right click from here and save image as. I have a Cricut projects folder that I save all my images for my Cricut projects, just so it's all in one space. So for this one, I'm going to name it as Valentine Penguin. And you want to make sure that you're saving the file as a supported file for our design space. And we're going to look at those here in just a minute. But typically PNG or JPEG, when you're saving these images, will be supported. And most of the time, that's what your search engine is going to save those as. So I'm going to go ahead and select save. You can see at the bottom left-hand side of my screen that image has downloaded and now saved to my computer. So I'm going to jump back to my Cricut Design Space. Once we're back here on our blank canvas, over on the left-hand side is where you have all your options, and we want to select the last one, our upload. Once you've clicked upload, this is where you're going to have your option of compatible file types. So again, when you're saving those images from Google or whichever search engine that you're using, or even any system that you use to get images from, make sure it's a compatible file type. So it has to be a JPEG, a GIF, a PNG, BMP, SVG, or DXF file. Again, most of the time, it's going to automatically save them as either a PNG or JPEG from those search engines. But you can purchase SVGs from Etsy shops and other sites online. So from here, we're going to go ahead and click the upload image button. And then you can either drag and drop the file that we just saved, or you can click Browse and search for the file. Again, I always keep mine in my Cricut projects folder that I created on my desktop, just so it's easy access. I know where those images are saved. This will be in alphabetical order, so I know for my Valentine's, it's going to be all the way towards the bottom. And I see the Valentine penguin. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my Valentine penguin option and select Open. This will now load my image into the system. Based off of the type of file that you're doing, if it's something that's pretty simple cut like this, I typically use the simple. Depending on how detailed the image is and how much contrast there is, you may want to do moderately complex or complex. But most of the time, about 99% of the time, I'm using simple. From here, I'm going to go ahead and select my simple, and then I will click continue. You'll see it starts to erase some of the things in the background already for us. So once you hit continue, this is where you're now going to customize how you want this cut to look. So pretty much anything that's going to be an open space, you want to go ahead and click on that so that the image comes back. You want to see these check marks where you want this open. So for example, if you want these hearts that are white here to actually be white vinyl, you want to make sure that you're cutting them out, and then you can select the color of vinyl in the system later. Otherwise, if you just want these see-through and you see whatever the project is in the background, again, you want to go ahead and cut those out. And then it just depends on if you want the outline of the hearts or if you want it to be a solid heart. For me, anything on the outside, I want solid. Anything inside the umbrella, I'm going to go ahead and do as a clear background so that it actually cuts the heart out of this design. And we'll see what that looks like here in just a minute. So again, anything on the umbrella, I'm going to go ahead and click on to remove that background and make those a hollow portion of the image. Now, obviously, we're going to use white vinyl for the penguins. So I want to cut this out so that it's not just one big blob. I can actually get the definition on the fins as well. Okay. So right now, I think this looks pretty good. I'm on the select tool. It's usually what it automates to. So anything that I click on will automatically remove the background. If there's something that I don't necessarily like, and it's either really small or very complex and I want to remove it, then you have the erase option, and that'll bring up an eraser for you. So for example, this heart down here is kind of squished looking, so I'm actually just going to erase that one. I don't want that one at all on my project. If you accidentally erase something, so let's say I accidentally selected the whole umbrella and I don't want that, you can either click the undo option up here at the top left and it'll bring it right back, or you have a restore option as well. And whatever is within that circle, just like the erase, is going to restore. So this actually restored the heart and the background with it. Okay. So I'm going to go back to erase and remove this. Again, I don't want that on my project right here. Okay. So if you want to see what this is going to look like cut out, so just cutting, whether it's vinyl, heat transfer, cardstock, if your Cricut is actually cutting this image, you want to see what that's going to look like. Up at the top right-hand corner, there is a preview cut image option. Once I select this, this is what that cut's going to look like. So as you can see, I have a little something down here that I want to get rid of, and then something up here that got cut out that I don't necessarily want cut out. So I'm going to click on the hide cut image again so I can see what I'm looking at. And it looks like I missed a heart. So I'm going to go ahead and select. It took a little sliver out of the heart. I'm going to click here. Now that heart is fully cut out again. And then I'm not quite sure what was in this bottom corner, but I'm just going to kind of go over it again a little bit here to make sure that that little line is removed. Then from here, again, I'm going to click that preview cut image, and this is what it's going to look like. So this is what the vinyl would cut in the Cricut. So I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. So now at the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and click apply and continue. Once you're happy with the image, you can select if you want it as just a cut image, meaning your system is just going to cut the actual image. So anything that's an open space will be cut out, and you will be weeding those from your project. This I typically use if I'm using heat transfer vinyl, regular vinyl, or cardstock. Your other option within the system is a print then cut. So if I want to make a sticker or something where I want this multiple colors, but I don't want to have to layer my vinyl, I would actually select this. The first thing you would do is print this out on your printer. And then once it's printed, you would then put it in your Cricut machine and it would cut around whatever you select for the print and cut image. For this specific one, just because we're learning on how to uploading those Google files, I'm just going to select the cut image. We will do a video at a later time on the print then cut. So for me, most of the time I just do the cut image and I hit upload. Once you've uploaded your image, it is now within your recent uploads and you can add it to any project. Once these are uploaded, they stay in your system. They don't get deleted out unless you choose to delete them. So you can always use them in the future if you do not save the project. And now to get this image on my project and on my canvas, I'm just going to highlight it. And at the bottom right-hand side, I'm going to click Add to Canvas. Once I've done that, my image is now on my canvas and I can just resize before putting it on whatever project I am looking to put this on. If you do want to do layering project where you have things in multiple colors, we are absolutely going to do a video on that as well later. But this is how you get your Google images into your Cricut Design Space so that you can cut them out for your next project. Thank you so much for joining us today at Tulip's DIY Treasures. We hope this video was helpful, and if it was, please go ahead and like below, as well as subscribe to our page. We will continue to be posting more DIY and helpful tips on using the Cricut Design Space, so come check us out. We'll be posting new videos every week. Let us know in the comments below what types of videos you'd like to see or any topics you would like us to cover here at Tulip's DIY Treasures. Thanks again for joining.